Welcome at PASC23 on stage. This is the mini-symposium corner. Hi, Emma. Thank you for coming again.
Thank you for having me again.
Emma, can you tell us about your mini-symposium?
Sure. So we just had our mini-symposium, Green Tools and Architectures for Scientific Computing. And it was a mini-symposium to sort of discuss some of the issues facing us in scientific computing related to sustainability and energy consumption. And we had a pretty great series of talks looking at trying to monitor power consumption in large cosmological simulations, looking at trying to do performance tuning to make things really, really performant on GPUs by changing the clock frequency, looking at trying to design new hardware that tries to sort of get some kind of trade-off between accuracy and energy performance, going to like integers instead of floating point numbers, for example. And then finally, a more holistic view towards trying to include these lower power accelerators into larger computing systems for scientific computing.
So after the presentations and the discussions that followed, what are the achievements? What is your take-home message?
My take-home message is that it's much easier to monitor power consumption than I thought.
Okay.
So we had some great presentations, including some tools that are like quite easy to use to actually monitor power consumption in these large-scale codes, including QR codes, which I always appreciate in the slides, with links to the repositories to download and try to use them. And so I definitely want to try to use the GPU kernel autotuning functionality that was demonstrated next week when I'm home from PASC. Yeah.
Very good. So you already started to answer my next question. So what are the next steps? How are you going to follow up on the PASC conference?
Well, for this mini-symposium, I think it was a great sharing because people were sharing all of the tools and techniques that they were using. For us in my group, I think definitely it's trying to take some of these techniques and apply them on our own codes and then see how they work. Yeah.
Emma, what inspired you to submit this mini-symposium?
There's a great paper that originally inspired all of this, called The Imperative for Astronomers to Reduce Their Carbon Footprint. And basically, the astronomers in Australia got together and were like, well, what is the actual environmental cost of the research that we're doing? And this great paper looking at like flights, looking at infrastructure costs, looking at computing costs, and computing was one of the biggest costs that they put in this paper. And in the paper, they talk a lot about like, oh, well, maybe we can like fly less. And I guess COVID answered that for everyone, right? You can do hybrid conferences that kind of make that easier, but didn't really address the computing part. So now that people are talking a lot more about sustainability and thinking about things in terms of energy solution instead of time to solution, I thought it would be a great opportunity at PASC to kind of create a forum for us all to discuss these issues.
So thank you, Emma, for bringing this very interesting and important topic. And so thank you very much. And maybe I'll see you again next PASC conference.
Hopefully, yeah.